She texted, "Don't come home. I'm having the locks changed. This is my house now." I wrote, "Okay." Then I had the sheriff escort her out with an eviction notice since my name was the only one on the lease. Her belongings in garbage bags on the sidewalk made the 6 o'clock news. Original post I, 31 male. Got the text at 2:14 p.m. on a Thursday while I was at work. My girlfriend Natalie, 29 of 4 years, decided to drop this bomb via WhatsApp. "Don't come home tonight, or ever. I'm having the locks changed right now. This is my house now. I've put up with your mediocrity long enough. Time for you to find somewhere else to live. Your stuff will be outside." I stared at my phone for maybe 10 seconds, then typed back one word. "Okay." 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then nothing. Here's the thing Natalie didn't seem to remember, or maybe never bothered to check. The rental agreement for our townhouse? Only my name on it. I'd been renting it for 2 years before she moved in. She'd never been added to the lease because she didn't want the responsibility and preferred keeping things flexible. Her words, not mine. I'd been covering the full $2,200 rent every month. She contributed to groceries and utilities when she remembered. But legally, she was just my guest who'd overstayed her welcome. Instead of panicking or arguing, I made 3 phone calls. First, to my landlord Gary, explained the situation. He was amused. "She knows she's not on the lease, right?" he asked. "Apparently not. Want me to meet you there with the property management company's lawyer?" That would be perfect. Second call was to the local sheriff's department. Explained I was the sole leaseholder and my live-in girlfriend was attempting an illegal eviction. They said they'd send someone over. Third call was to my buddy Derek, who had a pickup truck and 0 Thursday afternoon plans. "Need help moving?" he asked after I explained. "Not moving, evicting." "Holy shit. I'll bring Carlos in the cooler." By 3:30 p.m., I was standing outside my own home with quite the crew. Gary brought the property lawyer Janet. 2 sheriff's deputies were there. Derek showed up with Carlos and, true to his word, a cooler of beer for after, obviously. Natalie had indeed changed the locks. Could see the new shiny deadbolt from the street. My stuff, clothes, gaming console, guitar was thrown haphazardly on the lawn. Some of it in garbage bags, some just there. The female deputy knocked. "Sheriff's Department, please open the door." Natalie opened it wearing what I can only describe as her boss bitch outfit. Blazer, heels, full makeup. She dressed up for her big power move. "Officers, perfect timing. This man," she pointed at me, "is trespassing on my property." The deputy looked at Janet, who stepped forward with the lease agreement. "Ma'am, are you Natalie Morrison?" "Yes." "And are you aware that this property is leased solely to," she checked the paper, "Mr. Daniel Reeves?" Natalie's face didn't change. "We've been living here together for 2 years. That makes it mine too. Common law." Janet actually snorted. "That's not how common law marriage works in this state. And even if it was, that wouldn't give you property rights to someone else's lease." "Ma'am," the male deputy chimed in, "we need to see your lease agreement or proof of residency rights." "I don't need papers, I live here. My stuff is inside." "That makes you a month-to-month tenant at best," Janet said. "And Mr. Reeves, as the leaseholder, has given you verbal notice to vacate. Right, Daniel?" "Right," I said. "Natalie, you have 30 days to find a new place." Her face went red, then purple. "You can't do this." "Actually," the female deputy said, "he can. Ma'am, you need to let him into his home and restore access. The locksmith you hired acted on false pretenses." "I'm not letting him in. This is my home." Gary stepped forward. "As the property owner's representative, I'm informing you that you're currently trespassing. Mr. Reeves is our legal tenant, you are not." The realization was starting to hit her. She looked at all of us, then at her phone, probably considering calling someone. Her mom? Her sister? That lawyer friend she always bragged about who turned out to just be a paralegal? "You need to leave the property now, ma'am," the deputy said. "You can arrange with Mr. Reeves to collect your belongings at a later date." "My belongings? Everything in there is mine. I decorated this place. I made it a home. The furniture I bought?" I asked calmly. "The TV I bought? The kitchen appliances I bought? We bought those together." "Have any receipts with your name on them?" Janet asked sweetly. Silence. "Ma'am, step outside, please," the deputy said more firmly. Natalie stepped out, wobbling a bit in her power heels. This is illegal. I'll sue. You'll have 30 days to vacate, I said. But since you've already indicated you don't want to live with me and change the locks, I assume you'll be leaving immediately? She stared at me with pure hatred. You planned this. No, Natalie, you texted me saying this was your house and to never come back. I just reminded everyone whose name is actually on the lease. Derek and Carlos had been quietly picking up my stuff from the lawn, sorting it, checking for damage. Gary called his locksmith to come restore the original locks. Where am I supposed to go? She demanded. Not my problem. You should have thought about that before trying to illegally evict me from my own home. The next 2 hours were intense. Update 1, the locksmith showed up within 45 minutes. While he worked, Natalie stood on the lawn making phone calls. Lots of crying, lots of "can you believe what he's doing to me?" Nobody seemed to be offering immediate shelter though. Once the locks were fixed, the deputies made it clear she could enter with my supervision to get essentials for the night. Clothes, toiletries, medications. That's it. I need my furniture. What furniture? I asked. The bedroom set. The one I bought from Ashley Furniture? Have the receipt on my email. Want to see? She tried claiming the couch, the dining table, the desk. Each time I had receipts. Digital records are beautiful things. The only thing she could definitively prove was hers. The hideous abstract art her sister made in a meditation cushion set. Janet documented everything on her phone. The deputy stood by while she grabbed 2 suitcases worth of clothes and essentials. She tried to take the coffee maker. That's mine, I said. We used it together. I bought it before you moved in. Have the Amazon order from 2019. She slammed it back on the counter so hard I thought it would break. By 6 p.m., she was standing on the sidewalk with her suitcases while a local news van pulled up. Apparently, someone, probably a neighbor, had called in about the dramatic illegal eviction happening on our street. They'd gotten it backward, though. The reporter approached Natalie first, probably because she looked the most distressed. Mascara running, hair no longer perfect, yelling into her phone. "Ma'am, can you tell us what's happening here?" Natalie saw an opportunity. "This man," pointing at me, "is throwing me out of my home. After 4 years together, with no warning, I came home from work and changed the locks for safety because he's been unstable, and now he's having me removed." The reporter's eyes lit up. Drama sells, but Janet stepped forward. "Hi, I'm Janet Wilmington, property management attorney. Would you like to see the lease agreement showing this gentleman as the sole tenant? And the text message where this woman told him not to come home because she was claiming the house?" I pulled out my phone, showing the screenshot. The reporter's expression shifted. "Ma'am, did you send this text?" Natalie grabbed her suitcases. "This is harassment. You're all going to hear from my lawyer." She stormed off down the street, pulling her luggage behind her, one wheel squeaking dramatically. The news crew got some footage but seemed to realize the story wasn't what they'd thought. Derek, Carlos and I had a beer on my porch, while Gary finished up some paperwork. "You know she's not done, right?" Carlos said. "Oh, I know." That night the text started. From her number, her sister's number, her mom's number, random numbers I didn't recognize. "You're heartless. How can you do this to someone you loved? She gave you the best years of her life. You're going to regret this. Real men don't act this petty." I screenshot everything and didn't respond to any of it. Friday morning I woke up to 62 missed calls. She'd been calling all night, alternating between her phone and what I assume were friends' phones. The voicemails ranged from sobbing apologies to violent threats to weird attempts at seduction. "Baby, I'm sorry. I was just frustrated. Let's talk about this. You worthless piece of shit. I hope you die alone. Remember that thing I do that you like? You'll never have that again. Please, Daniel, don't do this. We can work it out. I'm going to destroy your life." Around noon, she showed up with a U-Haul and 4 people. Her sister Elena, her mom Patricia, and 2 guys I didn't recognize. Muscle, probably. I was ready. Derek was there, Carlos was there. And I'd asked the sheriff's department for a civil standby, so Deputy Melissa was back. "She can get her things," I told the deputy, "but I'm documenting everything that leaves." Patricia marched up to me. "How dare you? After everything she's done for you." "Like what, Patricia? Name one thing." "She made you a better person. You were nothing before her." I had the same job, same friends, and same rental house before her. What exactly did she improve? Elena jumped in. She loved you. Doesn't that count for anything? She tried to steal my home yesterday. That's not love, that's entitlement. Natalie wouldn't look at me. She directed her muscle guys to start grabbing furniture. That's mine, I said, pointing to the coffee table they were lifting. Prove it, one of them said. I pulled up the Wayfair receipt on my phone. They put it down. This went on for 3 hours. Every single item we had to verify ownership. The TV? Mine. The soundbar? Mine. The kitchen table? Mine. The area rug she loved so much? Mine. Bought it on clearance at Target before I'd even met her. Her pile of actual belongings was pathetically small. Some books, that ugly art, her meditation stuff, her clothes, a few kitchen gadgets her mom had given her, some plants, though we argued about the pots. I'd bought those too. The best moment was when she tried to take the air fryer. That was a birthday gift to me, she claimed. You gave me a card that said, I owe you 1 air fryer, I reminded her. Then I bought it myself a week later when you forgot. Patricia gasped. That's a lie. I went to my room, dug through my desk, and came back with the actual IOU card. Held it up. Elena had the decency to look embarrassed. By 4 p.m., they'd loaded up the U-Haul with her actual stuff. Maybe $500 worth of possessions from a 4-year relationship. This is theft, Patricia announced. You're stealing from my daughter. Your daughter attempted to steal my entire home, I replied. I'm being more than generous, letting her take anything without a receipt. Natalie finally spoke. You're going to regret this, Daniel. I know things about you, embarrassing things. Like what? That I play Dungeons and Dragons? That I cried during Endgame? That I have a birthmark on my... Okay, Deputy Melissa interrupted. I think we're done here. They drove off with the U-Haul. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Update 2 Saturday morning, I woke up to find my social media blowing up. Natalie had gone nuclear. She'd posted this long, dramatic statement on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter about how her narcissistic ex had made her homeless, how I'd financially abused her for years by making her dependent on me, then threw her out without warning. The creative writing was impressive. According to her version, she'd paid half of everything, literally never happened. I'd isolated her from friends and family. She saw them twice a week. I'd been emotionally abusive and controlling. I hadn't even complained when she went on that girls' trip to Vegas with her ex-boyfriend in the group. She tried to leave safely by changing the locks, and I'd retaliated. Some people bought it. Her echo chamber of friends shared it with angry emojis and "men are trash" comments. But then something beautiful happened. Derek commented, "Weird how you could afford that $2,000 handbag last month if you were so financially abused." My ex-roommate from before Natalie, Tom, chimed in. "Daniel? Controlling? Dude let you redecorate his entire house and never said a word even though you turned his man cave into a yoga studio." Then, the killing blow. Natalie's former best friend Ashley, they'd fallen out over some MLM drama, posted, "Girl, you literally bragged to me about how you were living rent-free and saving up money. I have the texts." Ashley posted the screenshots. Natalie saying things like, "Why would I pay rent when he doesn't ask? And I'm basically getting paid to be his girlfriend." And, my personal favorite, "Once I have enough saved, I'm gonna upgrade to someone with a real house, not a rental." The narrative collapsed within hours. Natalie deleted everything, but the internet never forgets. Screenshots were everywhere. Sunday was quiet, too quiet. I should have known she was planning something. Monday morning, I went to get in my car for work. All 4 tires were slashed. Deep, angry gashes. My neighbor's Ring camera caught a figure in a hoodie at 3 a.m. but couldn't make out the face. I filed a police report. Cost me $600 for new tires. Tuesday, my boss called me into his office. Someone had sent an anonymous email to the entire company saying I was a domestic abuser, and they should be aware they employed someone dangerous to women. IT traced it to a VPN. But we all knew who it was. My boss, thankfully, knew me well. "Just wanted to give you a heads up. We're not taking this seriously, but you might want to get a lawyer." Wednesday, the real estate agent called. Oh yeah, Natalie had contacted the property management company pretending to be me, trying to break the lease. When that didn't work, they require in-person signatures. She'd left dozens of fake reviews online about Gary's company, claiming they enabled domestic violence. Gary was pissed. "I'm filing a defamation suit. This is affecting my business." Thursday was the peak crazy. I came home to find the police at my door. "Mr. Reeves, we received a report that you're holding stolen property belonging to Ms. Morrison." "What property?" She provided a list. The officer showed me 3 pages of items, including things like emotional support jewelry and sentimental kitchen equipment. I invited them in. "Officers, I have receipts for everything I own. Would you like to see them?" I'd organized everything into a folder after the U-Haul incident. Every single receipt. They looked through it, looked around the house, and shook their heads. "Sir, has Ms. Morrison been harassing you?" Here's the folder of screenshots, the /tires report, and the fake email to my employer. They took notes. One of them muttered, "This is the 3rd false report she's made this week." Turns out she'd also claimed I'd stolen her car. She didn't have one, and her laptop. She'd sold it 2 months ago. I had the Facebook Marketplace conversation where she bragged about it. Friday night, exactly 1 week after lock change day, Patricia called me. "Daniel, we need to talk." "No, we don't. Natalie is. She's not well. She's been staying with us, and the things she's saying don't make sense. She told us you stole her inheritance, but her grandfather is still alive. She said you've been hacking her bank accounts, but she never had any money saved." What really happened? I gave her the short version. The text, the attempted theft of my home, the harassment since. Long silence. "She needs help," Patricia finally said. "That's not my problem anymore. She's saying she's going to make you pay. Something about your workplace? Your reputation? I'm worried she'll do something stupid." Already did. Slashed my tires, emailed my work, filed false police reports. It's all documented. "Oh my God." Patricia sounded genuinely shocked. I didn't raise her to be this way. Maybe you should have asked for her side of the story before showing up with a U-Haul and calling me heartless." She hung up. Final update. It's been a month now since the great lock change fiasco. Here's where everyone ended up. The escalation continued for another week after Patricia's call. Natalie created fake dating profiles with my photos and explicit content. She signed me up for hundreds of spam sites. She called my credit card company pretending to be me. They flagged it as fraud immediately. Security questions exist for a reason. The breaking point came when she showed up at my workplace. Full breakdown in the lobby. Screaming about how I'd ruined her life, stolen her future, destroyed her mental health. Security had to physically remove her. My company filed a restraining order on my behalf. That's when the police finally took action. Between the false reports, the harassment, the vandalism, she finally admitted to the tires when arrested and violating the workplace restraining order. She was looking at actual charges. Patricia and Elena hired her a lawyer. The lawyer took one look at the evidence, the screenshots, the security footage, the paper trail of receipts, the false police reports, and convinced her to take a plea deal. 6 months probation, mandatory therapy, no contact order, and she had to pay restitution for the tires. The last I heard, through the gossip network, she's living with her parents, lost her job because she kept missing work for court dates. Her Instagram influencer dreams died when the screenshots of her rent-free brags went viral in our city. Patricia and Elena apparently made her get mental health help. As for me, the house is peaceful. I turned the yoga studio back into a gaming room. Got a new couch, the old one had too many memories. Adopted a cat named Morpheus, who appreciates my emotional stability and consistent feeding schedule. My reputation at work actually improved. Turns out several coworkers had dealt with similar situations. We formed an informal support group that meets for beers on Fridays. Gary gave me a discount on rent for the next 6 months for handling the situation professionally and protecting the property. He also won his defamation suit against Natalie. She has to pay him $5,000 in damages. Derek and Carlos, they've become closer friends through this whole ordeal. We have a running joke where they check any woman I date against a checklist. Does she know your name is on the lease? Can she provide receipts for her belongings? Has she demonstrated basic understanding of tenant law? The truth is, I'm not angry anymore. Just tired, and maybe a little sad. 4 years is a long time to not really know someone. The entitlement she displayed wasn't new, it was always there. I just ignored it because the relationship was comfortable. The texts asking this is my house should have been a wake-up call 2 years ago when she first started saying it, jokingly. The fact she never wanted to be on the lease, but constantly called it our place, should have been a red flag. The way she'd introduce me as my boyfriend who takes care of everything wasn't cute, it was a warning. But hey, at least I got a good story out of it. And all my receipts are now backed up in 3 locations. The news footage never aired, by the way. Apparently, man legally enters own home doesn't have the same ring as whatever they were hoping for. Last week, I got a text from an unknown number. I miss you. Blocked. Morpheus and I are doing just fine. Edit. Since some people asked, yes, this really happened. No, I don't think all women are like this. Natalie was a specific type of person who happened to be female. Plenty of men pull this same entitled crap. Trust your gut, keep your receipts, and know your rights as a tenant. Edit 2. Stop asking for Natalie's social media. Let her rebuild her life. We both need to move on. Edit 3. Morpheus says hi, and yes, he's named after the Matrix character. He chose violence against my toes at 3 a.m. this morning, so the name fits.